was much nicer down by the river. Michael's birthday was the 8th of May, and they would soon be meeting up again for Caroline's benefit on the 23rd of May. Isla and Caroline produced crisps, peanuts and sausage rolls, and a general discussion was held that if they all chipped in £1 each for every birthday, the girls could get the food without having to dip into their own pockets. They finished eating, and once again the cigarettes came out. Only Peter refused to smoke. "I've had some good news, so there'll be no more smoke going inside me." "What's that?" Anthony asked. "It's top secret. I've said nothing at school in case I don't get accepted, but I'm going for a trial at Stoke City." There was silence for a moment, and then everybody clapped. "That's brilliant," Oliver said. "You'll go to their academy if you're accepted?" Peter nodded. "Yep, and I'm not jeopardising that for the sake of a fag." They all toasted him with what remained in the bottom of their cans, and he blushed. He was the quiet one of the group, unused to the limelight. Anthony took out a small plastic bag from the front pocket of his backpack. "I didn't know whether to bring these or not," he said, "but this is a double celebration with Michael's birthday and Peter's news." He offered the roll-up cigarettes around. "What are they?" Caroline raised her eyebrows. Her nervous reaction wasn't lost on the others. "Joints," Anthony laughed. "They'll make you feel good. My treat to us for Michael's birthday." "Drugs," Oliver said, reaching across and taking one. He lit it and took a drag. There was a slight pause, and then he said, "Wow, happy 16th, Michael." The others, with the exception of Peter, all took one, and quietly sat with their backs to the stone wall, lost in the moment, not speaking, enjoying the new experience. Darkness had fallen. Peter gathered up all the rubbish and filled 2 carrier bags. He left the others in their soporific, marijuana-induced haze and took the bags around to the wheelie bins at the back of the co-op. He smiled as he walked back to them. None of them looked capable or even willing to walk home. He could hear voices approaching where they were, although clearly on the other side of the stone wall by the riverside itself. Peter dropped to his knees and held a finger to his lips. He didn't want anyone seeing his friends like this. If it were the police, they could be in heaps of bother. They all understood immediately. They, too, could hear the voices. One man seemed to be crying, to be pleading for something. They heard, "Please don't do this," several times, and "I'll get your money," followed by a small scream. As the voices passed within 3 feet of their positions, they could tell that someone was being dragged, rather than walking unaided. "Let's get him up the deeper stretch," they heard the first man say, and Oliver turned around to Keith, mouthing, "Leon Rowe." Keith dipped his head in agreement. They remained behind the wall, not moving until the voices faded slightly. Keith spoke quietly. "We say nothing of this. That was Leon Rowe and Brian King. Brian lives next door to us, and trust me, I know his voice, and Leon's. Let's just pretend we never heard this. I feel sorry for that poor bugger, whoever he is." They felt suddenly sober. "Can we go home?" Caroline's voice was quivery. They picked up their bags, and Oliver carefully lifted his head above the wall. He could see the 3 men in the distance and, without speaking, waved the others to begin the walk home. "Stick to the roads," Anthony whispered. "We don't want to be seen by anybody on the river path." It was as they were moving quietly away. They heard the scream. It was dramatically cut short by a popping sound, almost immediately followed by a splash. "We'll talk tomorrow," Anthony said. He swung off to the right, accompanied by Oliver Merchant and Caroline Phillips. The others headed in the opposite direction. Anthony and Oliver walked Caroline home first, and as she closed the garden gate, she leaned over it. "Those cigarettes, Anthony. Can you get more of them?" "As many as you want." She nodded. "I want." "Me too," Oliver joined in. "Talk to me tomorrow in school."